And now we are starting part A of the Real Estate Investment Trust. In this part, we are going to cover chapter 1, which covers regulation number 1 and regulation number 2. Regulation number 1 is a short regulation which talks about the short title and the commencement of these regulations. So the name of these regulation is SEBI Real Estate Investment Trust Regulation 2014. And these regulations have came into effect from 26th of September 2014. Now let's see regulation number 2. Regulation number 2 contains the definitions, and these definitions are given under sub-regulation 1. So regulation number 2, sub-regulation number 1 contains the definition. There are so many definitions, but there are few definitions which you have to understand very carefully, and these are important definitions also. I am not saying that other definitions are not important, but here you have to work hard. For example, clause B of sub-regulation 1 of regulation 2 defines the term associate. Now this definition is important. We have to understand it very carefully. After that, there are so many other definitions which are important. I am just giving you a brief idea about those. Next is change in control. This is defined. Then designated stock exchange, general purpose. Then another definition is governing board. This is also very important. A new definition, governing board. Then Holdco. It is basically a holding company that can be asked in the exam. Then there is a definition of offer document. Then real estate, sponsor. This is also very important. And the valuer, a huge definition of valuer is also given. Now, as far as definitions are concerned, you have to remember that definitions are given under the clauses which are under sub-regulation 1 of regulation 2. For example, associate is defined under clause B. So you can write that the term associate has been defined under clause B of sub-regulation 1 of regulation 2 of Real Estate Investment Trust, Regulation 2014. So now you are aware that regulation 2 sub-regulation 1 contains the definition, and there is one another sub-regulation, that is sub-regulation 2. It simply says that whatever words and expressions which have been used under these regulation but have not been defined under these regulation, you have to refer the Companies Act or Securities Contract Regulation Act for their meaning. Now let's see the definition of the term associate. The term associate has been amended by the Amendment Regulation 2016. So don't refer old definition. You have to see this definition. This definition of associate has been given under clause B. It's a relative definition. It means it is defined as with respect to other persons. So how it is defined? Let's see. Associate of any person. It starts with associate of any person shall be as defined under the Companies Act or applicable accounting standard. So पहले तो ये कहते हैं कि term associate will have the same meaning as which is defined under the Companies Act or applicable accounting standard, and then they say it shall also include following. It means the inclusive part of this definition start from here, and there are 4 sub-clauses which are given here. So first, let's try to understand subclause 1. Subclause 1 says that any person which is controlled directly or indirectly by the said person. तो यहाँ पर relative definition है, जैसा कि हमने देखा है. It is a person and there is another person. If this person is controlled, by any other person, said person, then we will say that this is an associate of that person. In second subclause, they says any person who controls directly or indirectly the said person. So this is the said person, and this has been controlled. It has been controlled by any other person. Then also it will be treated as associate. So two terms you have to remember: any person controlled or any person who controls, both will be covered by the term associate. Now the subclause 3 says that where the said person is a company or a body corporate. So first let's assume this person is a company or it's a body corporate. Then any person who is designated as the promoter of this company or body corporate will be treated as associate. तो ये promoter यहाँ पर क्या हो जाएगा? Associate person मान लिया जाएगा. If the said person is a company or a body corporate, all the promoters of such company or body corporate will be treated as associate. And not only this, any other company or body corporate having the same person as promoter will also be treated as the associate. तो यहाँ पर promoters को तो associate में cover किया ही है, और ये जो प्रमोटर है ये अगर किसी दूसरी कंपनी या बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट में भी प्रमोटर है, then these companies or body corporate will also be treated as associate of this body corporate or company. Now subclause 4 talks about when the said person is an individual. तो यहाँ पर ये कह रहे हैं कि अगर ये person individual है, not a body corporate or company, then in such cases all the relatives of such individual will also be treated as associate of this person. Further, you have to remember there were many other subclauses also, subclause number 5 to subclause number 8. These subclauses have been omitted by Amendment 2016, so you need not to refer those subclauses.